Oh boy. Okay, here we go, at long last. I totally forgot about this, but thank you to somebody who left me a message about it. I'm going to share it with everyone in this review. Do you remember about a month ago that I had this choice in this particular video that I kept spreading across over toy reviews, giving hints to about a good review and a possible bad review, and which one you guys wanted to see, a big review or a small review of something that's crap. And it turned out that in the end, you guys chose the big guns. You chose Ultimate Optimus Prime, who's over there. Now, why am I talking about this? Because of one reason. Even though I still don't want to do this today, it is time. It is time at long last to review one of the worst toys. One of the, by far, worst action figures to ever have the name action figure on its package. And I'm not showing it right now because I want you guys to take a guess. I want you to take a guess what this is. You have 10 seconds. You now have 5. And now you've got none. Okay. Alright. What did you say? Leave it in a comment below. You might actually win a contest or something in the future. Who knows? If this was a contest, it might. You'll just have to wait and see. So, well, considering how I've wasted about 2 minutes now on this, let's just get to the review. But I'm not going to do it in an old-fashioned style of my own where I say, today's toy review is this and that. No. I'm going to do this as a copyright thing because I'm an asshole. I feel like an asshole today, and why not? Because it's just a lot of fun copying people. And I'm not going to do it completely the same way this guy did it. But I think he got a little too over dramatic, maybe even overrated about this one figure. But still, it is a piece of crap. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to why this particular figure completely and abundantly really absolutely sucks. Starting off with, here we go. Pretty much, he's got a stand. He's got another piece to the stand, which, you know, it's the same thing. He's got set of hands, so does everybody else. About the same thing anyway. I will admit one thing though. His card is pretty nice though. As quoted by SoundOut12. He's got a set of instructions, so does everyone else, and they're completely useless. He's got a Figma plastic bag. I don't even use them. And last but not least, he's got this thing. And it falls apart pretty easily, as you can see. I mean, with a quick shake. Come on now. Don't make me look like a liar. Come on, fall apart. What is wrong with you? Alright, fine. You don't want to fall apart? That's fine. Here's this. This piece to his head. I guess you could say his ponytail or a whip to the back of his head. Yeah, it comes off all the time. And here he is. Yeah. It's Figma. Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, Kamen Rider Sting. And he falls apart very easily with a shake. As you can see. He's falling apart. There goes his legs. There goes his arms. There goes everything. Everything's falling apart on him and I can't stand it. This is one of the worst figures ever to be created by Figma. They have done a horrible job. Max Factory, what the fuck were you thinking? Terrible figure. Bad figure. Bad. Very bad. I hate you. I curse you. The power of Christ compelled you, bitch. Whoa. That was pretty bad for 5 minutes, wasn't it? Wow, this figure is awful. God, he's awful. He just falls apart everywhere. Like I said, there goes his legs. There goes his arms. There goes his hands. There goes his head. There goes his upper body, his lower body. There goes his knees, his joints. They're falling apart. He's falling to pieces. I don't understand what's wrong with this figure. I can't keep him together. Whew. Talk about over dramatic. Wow. Or maybe, as one of the mods on Ranger Board once said about one of my pictures, overrated. I do not see a problem with this figure, okay? I got a little too carried away. I wasted 5 minutes, 6 minutes now. This figure is not good. It's not perfect. But at least it's okay, okay? I don't know what happened to your guys' figures. Every review I've seen of Figma, Kamen Rider, Dragon Knight, Kamen Rider Steen, there's always a problem. And it's being particularly with this thing right here. It does not stay in his head. It just doesn't. You can pop this sucker back on and move it around a little bit. It'll stay on just fine when you're not messing with him. But if you give him a few shakes, it'll come right out. See? There it goes. There it goes again. Going right out. His weapon, a few shakes, falls apart. But it won't fall apart on the camera. I don't understand what the heck's going on. Because there's nothing wrong with this weapon. It's supposed to fall apart in some pieces, as you can see, in order to rotate it to a different position. But for some odd reason, it's just the handle and the tip over here. That's it. For this whip. Those are the only pieces that move. But it stays together actually very nicely. Now, I will admit one thing. The handle is a little loose. But I shake it around. It ain't falling apart. I move the tip around. It ain't falling apart. The only real issue with this figure, like I said, is his ponytail. Whatever you want to call it. It does not stay put. It just doesn't. You can super glue it, make it a little tighter. Maybe that would work, but really, that's my only complaint about this figure. He's not falling apart. This stays in place very nicely. It's not like the Masked Rider Ryuki version of the figure. The, oh, what were they called? I gave him away in a contest at Zeltrax Millennium. So, yeah, I can't remember exactly the name of them. I know they're not the Rider and Monster series. I know that for sure. Sakujo Hinchin, something like that. And it actually attaches to his little piece right here, whatever those are. You know, I just call them sockets or something. But this one doesn't. But it stays in his hands very nicely. It really does. So the shield, I guess you could say the shield, or his visor, actually does stay in his hands nicely. He doesn't fall apart. Like I said, my figure's got no problems except for the freaking ponytail like everybody else's. Articulation is pretty much the same as every other Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight figure, okay? I really don't have to go into it. Everything's pretty much on a ball joint. Everything is on a ball joint. Pretty much the same kind of articulation as an SH Figure Art figure. And of course, I've only got 2 at the moment. 3 coming soon. But still, I really don't see a problem with this figure. I may have got carried away, but you know what? That's sarcasm, alright? I've seen a lot of reviews, and I just wanted to get my bit of the action. I really did want my piece of the pie. And it was fun! I hope you enjoyed that little segment, guys. That was actually funny. I found it funny. I almost chuckled, if you heard me. I couldn't control myself. I got too carried away, but it was fun. As much as everybody says this figure is a piece of crap, mine, for some odd reason, is not. He doesn't fall apart. He doesn't. I don't know what it is about this figure. He is one of the most stationary, put together figures I have of the Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight line. And I'm sorry to everyone, okay? I am dead sorry to everyone that I had him fooled. Especially when I said you had a choice between Ultimate Optimus Prime up there, or one of the worst figures to ever be created, to even be a part of my collection. I'm sorry. He's not. He's actually pretty good. Now, I don't know where people are getting that his head sculpt. Let me just get this out of the way. I'll take care of that later. Let me just get to where people say the head sculpt is kind of flat. I do not see this head sculpt being flat. Maybe a little wide, maybe just a little bit, but that actually is show accurate. I see the show accuracy. I really don't see the difference on the package. As you can see, he's turned to the side. He's turned to the side. You're pretty much looking at the same thing here. There is nothing wrong with this figure. There isn't. Now, I'm not lying to you guys. I'm being honest. I tell you the truth. I tell you the G-damn-it truth. This figure is okay. He's alright. He has his problems, but it's mainly that ponytail. The rest, it's just fine. Look. Look. Look, I got both his legs and I'm shaking him like a twister. Now, of course, the hands come off because, you know what, that's a Figma figure. They're supposed to come off. They're interchangeable. So, yeah. I mean, why should I complain about this figure? I mean, he's done me no wrong. And why should you guys get overreacted about this figure? He's done you no wrong. Well, maybe in the early stage of production, but I did get this figure a lot later. I really did. He's one of my last Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight figures I actually got. So they had a lot of time to fix their problems, and maybe, just maybe, this might be the first one. This might be the actual first Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight Kamen Rider Steam figure they actually went back and fixed, except for this freaking ponytail. Like I said though, if you don't touch it, it'll be fine. If you move it around, if you shake it a bit, it will come out. I don't know why it's not coming out now. Maybe I've got it in a good position, but still, it's okay. The figure is okay. Alright? I'm not lying to you guys. I'm being honest. I have no problem with Figma Kamen Rider Steam except for that freaking ponytail. That's it. The figure's weapons stay together. The hands are nice accessories. The instructions are completely useless. The Figma plastic bag is a waste of time. The display stand, I haven't even used it. As you can see, it's still in there. The card is nice, and I can't grab it. I can't grab it for some reason. It's on flat ground. There we go. It's nice. It's small. You're going to lose it if you keep it out of the package. So, yeah. Really, guys, maybe I got a little too carried away, but I think, for the first time ever, I may be the first actual one, the first actual reviewer to have a perfect Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight Kamen Rider Steam figure. And with that, that is the end review of him. Can I actually recommend him? I actually can, but please, please, listen to me very carefully. If you actually purchase this figure online, and you receive him, and he falls apart like Sound Out 12, or Shinken Shinobi, and all those other reviewers out there, take him back. Send him back. Because don't waste your time trying to fix him up. It won't work. Okay? Now, I've had no problem with mine. So I don't know about you guys. I really don't. And that is the truth. If you don't like the figure, send him back. Simple as that. By the way, these pieces do stay on tightly. As you can see, they're not going anywhere. So yeah, my figure is perfect. I've got no problem with him. One of my actual best Figma Kamen Rider Dragon Knight figures I actually own. Maybe it's because I made the right choice and waited to see what Max Factory or Figma would actually do to this figure. Would they go back and refix him? Maybe they did. But if they did, then why does he still have this problem back here? I don't know. Maybe it's just pure luck. Maybe I finally, out of all my figures I own, maybe at long last, I finally got a figure that actually stays together for once. No loose joints. No legs, limbs, or anything like that falling off here and there. His weapon stays together. maybe at long last I finally found the perfect figure. And with that, this is Sonic Ranger signing out. Thank you very much for watching, and go get this figure. And like I said, if you don't like him, if you're scared to purchase him, then just don't, okay? Just don't. I'm out. Good night.